You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies.
This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show.
We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show.
It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Crossbones After Show.
Get it? Because it's the end. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank God. I'm sorry, but thank God.
Hey guys, we're back with another Crossbones after show at AFTERBUZZ. It's the last one, season finale. I'm your host, Kelly McInerney, and here's my awesome co-host.
What's going on, guys? Bobby DeMuro. Kelly was just telling me that she can, in fact, do every move to the NSYNC Bye 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 dance. 15 minutes from now on the show, she will be doing it as an interlude, so look forward to that. But before we get there, this is it, Kelly.
That's it. What'd you think?
I think...
Give me your honest opinion.
Do you want the politically correct answer or my honest answer?
Give me the politically correct one first, and then the honest one.
The politically correct one. Here at AFTERBUZZ TV, we obviously love television. I know that I can speak for you when I say this is a very good job to have. We love doing this. We watch a lot of good TV and a lot of not so good TV, but we still like it because it's entertaining. This show falls into one of those not so good shows that's also entertaining.
All right, and honestly?
This show sucked. It was awful. I heard Marissa react. This show sucked. I'm sorry, there were 9,000 holes, and it sucked. And we haven't heard the official word that it's been canceled. This was just the quote-unquote season finale so far. If it comes back, I will not be joining for season 2. You're going to have to find a new co-host.
Yeah, so. I don't know if I want to do it either. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
And listen, very few shows suck. When you watch as much TV as we do, we got a lot of patience. We like talking stuff. Even if it's not a great show, we get entertained. And there were points at this show that was very entertaining. But man, I just, ugh. I
don't think it'll be back. I don't. But I agree with you. It did suck a lot. But we have to talk about it now.
Yeah, we do. So, we're definitely going to talk about it. We're not going to leave you hanging on the last episode.
Yeah. It's 2 episodes. There were 2 episodes back to back. The first one's called Crossbones because they ran out of title ideas, I guess.
That's the first part. The 2 episodes are called Crossbones and Blackbeard.
Yep.
I think you said it. You were like, they just mailed it in. Like they just gave up at the end.
They did. They totally did. Basically, Blackbeard has a plan to blow up the Spanish Armada because they have the chronometer and they know where they are. But his real plan actually is to get Jagger to follow him so he could get Jagger and kill him. And not everybody's happy with this because Charlie talks about, like, we want money. You know, we're not all rich like you, Blackbeard. We need some money. We want that Spanish Armada more than Jagger.
They want that Skrilla.
Yeah.
That's what the kids call it nowadays, Skrilla.
Skrilla?
Yeah.
What is it? Does that stand for anything?
Money. Skrilla. Paper. Benjamins.
All right.
Skrilla.
De Niro.
De Niro. There you go. Skrilla.
Do Re Mi.
Cheese.
Yeah, I like that one. Cheese. Wants that cheese. So, yeah. He tells Blackbeard, and Blackbeard stabs him.
You make it sound so casual, because it almost was that casual.
Yeah.
And then, my biggest issue with this was, Charlie was stabbed. He lied on the deck for quite a while and bled hard, and then bled through his mouth, like coughed up blood and all this sort of stuff. Fletch, sorry bro, not a capable surgeon, not a doctor, and also doesn't play one on TV. Charlie should have bled to death, and then they threw him overboard, and he didn't die.
Yeah, and he fought at the end.
And he was cool, yeah, he killed like 9 redcoats at the end. It was cool.
Yeah, it's...
Why? Like, I understand television and how this stuff works. I mean, for God's sakes, I love Walker, Texas Ranger, and that's the most classic, like, 100 guys on one, and they all come at him one at a time. Yeah. So I can suspend disbelief with the best of them. Come on, now. Let's be real.
I don't know. He just wouldn't die, and I don't know.
Maybe Charlie was a vampire. You know how Antoinette had some of these kind of supernatural powers? Maybe Charlie had the same thing. We didn't know until today. And it's like Sixth Sense, where you didn't know Bruce Willis was dead until the very end of the movie, and it turns out he was. Maybe the same is true of Charlie.
But we'll never find out, I feel like, because that's Crossbones. Typical Crossbones. Like Nena.
The official hashtag for the show, hashtag, that's so Crossbones.
So Crossbones. It's the opposite of That's So Raven, which is really cool. Like, that's right.
Yeah, I was thinking of Raven too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Nena, who disappeared, and we never knew what happened to her, and Rose's
letter.
The big, oh my gosh, the big letter. Nothing.
That's so Crossbones.
So Crossbones. Jagger kind of follows them back to Santa Campana, and attacks everybody. Apparently, this is also Blackbeard's plan. That's what he claimed at the end, right? Kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I think, was Blackbeard lying when he was talking to Tom Lowe? Because there's no way that even a man of Blackbeard's stature could control everything that was out of his control. The way that the Spanish would act, the way that Jagger would act, the way that people around him would act. Like, I know you want to, when you're the person in power, you want to prove that you have control and show you have control, but like, come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, I feel like he was too surprised when he found out that Jagger was there to really claim, like, and that was his idea. But actually, Charlie told them where the island was. They didn't follow him, and because they just wanted Blackbeard, they wouldn't give up Blackbeard. So a lot of people died, and Blackbeard kind of died, but didn't at the end. He like walked away. It's just
I don't understand that either. I don't understand. The one death that I was happy with that actually happened was Selima. When Antoinette killed Selima, there was no weird Selima. Like, it was over for her. That's fine. Selima never appealed to me as a character. No. Never. She was like Nena. Nothing appealed to me about her. No offense.
I feel like there was not even any chemistry either. Even when Blackbeard proposed to her today, and she's like, yeah, I'd be honored to. It's like, so where's the love, you know?
To use a sports metaphor, which is totally wrong, Crossbones is like an exhibition game for charity. Like, I don't know if you're a basketball fan, but like the NBA, they do like an all-star game, which, you know, all the all-stars are playing, but they also do like those like celebrity all-star games where a bunch of people who are like kind of semi-famous and talented at something get together and play basketball, and it's for charity and it's for fun. But they've never played together before, so the basketball is incredibly sloppy because they don't know what they're doing. They're not a team, it's just a bunch of people. This show reminds me of something like that, as goofy as it sounds. You've got actors who, I didn't think the acting was all that terrible. I didn't think the writing was necessarily that terrible. I didn't think the directing and the cinematography, a lot of that stuff was very good. But it's like they didn't work together until the day of filming. Yeah. And they just kind of all worked alone. And then they came together and they just kind of filmed it and they're like, okay, whatever. It just, nothing flowed. There was no rhythm. There was no relationship with anything.
Yeah, I disagree though. I think the writing was pretty terrible. Because
Really?
there was lots of loopholes. Like,
Yes, the story arcs and absolutely.
And I feel like each episode beforehand, I feel like they just wrote the episode right beforehand. They didn't have like an idea of where this whole thing was going, you know?
Somewhere in an office building in Studio City or maybe Century City, there's a Crossbones writer who's like has our pictures up on a wall and he's like throwing darts at it. Yeah. He's like got our names on a list. He's coming for us. Somewhere that's happening. Sorry, bro. Not sorry.
Yeah. But so yeah, they release with the redcoats coming in. Antoinette comes in too, and they release her from her cage, and she kills Selima, which is great because
with a badass like scythe looking.
Yeah. Just to go with that weird creepiness of her. Why not just give her a weird, creepy weapon? And, I don't know, like, I still want to know what happened, because Blackbeard killed her, too. Well, she kind of killed herself because she pulled the sword into her. Yeah. And tried to kiss him. It was a little silly, I think. But, I just want to know why, like, did he remember her? Did he... Or does he still have that blocked out?
And why the child's voice saying father, father, father. I know we got part of the backstory when Antoinette talked a couple episodes ago, but we never actually get any confirmation on anything. We never see Blackbeard deal with any of this. Where do the kids really come from and what's really going on? That's another storyline that wasn't developed at all the way that it should have been.
Yeah, it could have been kind of... they didn't even really interact, you know?
Let's assume this gets a second season. I'm pretty sure that it won't, but let's assume that it does. What are you looking forward to? Like, what's the storyline that you would look forward to? I honestly don't understand. I mean, Lowe on the island is repetitive. Does he take over the island then? Blackbeard, maybe he's alive, maybe he's dead, maybe he's supernatural, who knows? What was the head that the new governor has? Is it Blackbeard's or just a fake or whatever? I mean, what is there to look forward to?
Fletch starting his family with Nellie.
I would love to see that.
That's kind of cute, I guess.
I would love to see that.
That's the only...
Good for Fletch.
Yeah. That wouldn't be Crossbones, though. It'd be like Fletch's family.
Fletch Bones.
Fletch Bones. So yeah, that happened.
That's so Crossbones. Is this... I want to know... Anybody who watches a lot of AfterBuzz shows, Lord knows we do a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I want to know if this is the single most, like, negative, disjointed after show in the history of AfterBuzz. Because neither one of us is happy to be here. What is going on?
I'll say no.
I mean,
Thank you, Marissa.
We're happy to be here, but not talking about the show.
Exactly.
This show. Yeah.
That's a good point. I would much rather talk Kardashians. Speaking of which, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about this.
And also, another big bomb was dropped this episode. Kate is pregnant.
Which...
You called it like seconds before.
Yeah, you think you were giving me credit, but it was pretty obvious now that I think about it. We should have known that was coming.
We should have.
When you have sex, you will get pregnant and you will die. So if you're 15 and you're watching this, remember that.
Mean Girls. Got it.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah. And it's Lowe's baby, clearly.
Without a doubt. So James can't have sex, although they have had sex.
Yeah.
But so I assume James can have kids.
Maybe his sperm doesn't work or something.
Do you think Maury is around to solve this?
He's pretty old,
listen,
you know. He's got gray hair.
That is a proposal to AfterBuzz. That's an after show to do. Maury.
That'd be so
That's
fun.
an after show to do.
That'd be so good.
Oh Lord, I feel like I'm not drinking water.
Yeah. But it's weird because James and Lowe are kind of cool now. They kind of forgave each other, and
it's different every episode.
They're like, "Hey, oh yeah, she's pregnant with your baby. Okay, like, you gotta I'll give her my blood, and you guys can live together. No, I'll give her my blood." Like they fought over blood. Just I don't know. And so she doesn't want the baby at first because it'll embarrass James or some I don't know, silly. That's so Crossbones reason. And so she gets poisoned from Nellie, which is a smart... I mean, hey, if you're going to get poisoned to get an abortion, might as well go to the town...
The town hooer?
Brothel.
Because they have been there before. This is not their first rodeo, if you know what I'm saying. That's a good point, yeah.
And it doesn't work out. She almost dies, and the blood thing happens. And then eventually, Kate was like, no, it's all right, I want this baby. Just turned around. I don't know. What do you think about that, Bobby?
Nothing. I think nothing about that. I think literally nothing about that. Nothing. I don't think anything about that.
No.
It's dumb. All of it's dumb.
It's just weird. I want to... That might be a fun like, Crossbones spinoff. Like, 2 guys and a baby. And maybe, like, Kate's dead or like, she's around. But it's, like, the two James and Lowe with their new baby.
Like that old sitcom, 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place. This could be like 2 guys, a whore, and a child.
Yeah.
Too much?
Definitely not as good as pizza.
Oh, no. Pizza's better.
Yeah.
Pizza's way better.
You do get fat from both of them. Well, I guess the process of the baby. And then you don't get fat anymore.
No, some of them stay fat. Let's be honest. Yeah.
At least it's worth it at least it's delicious with pizza.
Exactly. I thought you were going to say it's worth it with a child. Nope, it's worth it with pizza. If you're keeping track at home, we've talked about pizza, the Kardashians, where else are we? NBA All-Star games. We've been doing quite a bit.
Yep. And so what else happened on this show? I don't know. There's no Nana, no Antoinette. She got poisoned. And, so Blackbeard kind of died, but he didn't because at the end he's walking away. I don't know.
Okay, let's actually talk about the one good scene in the show. The battle scenes.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time ever, we get a ship battle. Thank God. This is a pirate show, and it took us 2 months to get a ship battle. More than 2 months. And then we finally get like a good battle, like with throats being slashed and with red coats getting their asses kicked. And one thing the show does right, who doesn't want to see the British get their ass kicked? Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
USA.
America.
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't want to see the British? Even though this was the Caribbean, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We hate the British all the time.
I thought it was too long, though. You know, I feel like it was half the episode.
Good, thank God. Less talking, more fighting. It could have been the whole episode.
Yeah. And at the end, with the standoff with Jagger and Blackbeard, I thought was also that's so cross, but like silly because they're right there and they don't even kill each other. They're there for like 5 minutes staring at each other.
Well, because I guess it was like a worthy adversary thing. You want to see the guy, you know what I mean?
If I was hunting for Blackbeard, how many years? I wouldn't care. I would just be like, boom, got him. Here's the head for realsies.
Yeah, but you can't hold it like that because he has no hair. You just have to hold the head like a bowling ball or something. You just put your fingers in the nose.
I'm just holding him upside down with the little
the goat?
beard. The little
oh,
beard.
dude, that's a good idea. Hold the head up. That's a great idea.
No.
Have you cut someone's head off before and held it?
No. I heard
The
they're
fact that
very
you had
heavy,
to,
though.
the fact that you had to say yeah, isn't a head like maybe like 10 or 15 pounds or something? Yeah, it's pretty significant.
It's like a bowling ball, but heavier, I guess. Maybe.
You sure you haven't killed anybody and cut their head off?
I can't really talk about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Well, that's what I wanted to get to.
I haven't. Maybe no. Never mind. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I was trying to say I have a different name. Shouldn't have told you that. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm going to leave that one alone. Guys, I promise we're not bad hosts. We're usually pretty decent. But this show has got us so messed up and so... We were like celebrating in the hallway that we didn't want to do this. What else do we even talk about this show? So I guess my question for you is Lowe now a pirate? Has he completely gone to the pirate side at the end?
Maybe. And I don't even, like, he says he doesn't go by that name anymore. And we don't find out his new name.
And remember, though, he had fake names before.
Yeah.
So Lowe was not his real name anyways. So maybe we never know his real name, which sucks. Like, give us something.
Come on.
But
it's just frustrating. But I think he is kind of, I think he doesn't consider himself a pirate because, you know, they went through that whole pirate spiel. We're not really pirates. We just steal from the rich and all that. Well,
yeah,
Charlie
it's like Peter
said that.
Pan.
Yeah, but not as cool because there's no hook hands like Captain Hook.
No, I got you. Yeah.
And I think I think he's gonna stick around for his kid, and James and Kate. They're gonna have a weird dysfunctional family.
That's a weird family.
The history of dysfunctional families might have started with them because that was a while ago.
Somehow I doubt that. I feel like they were dysfunctional families for thousands and thousands of years. The first dysfunctional family ever was in 1729 when Tom Lowe impregnated James Balfour's wife, Kate. That's actually coincidentally 1729 is the year Maury was born.
Really?
Guy's old. Yeah.
Wow.
Guy's old.
He's younger than I thought, though.
Yeah, no, he looks good for his age, but he's, 300 and whatever years old, 290 years old. Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know. So, yeah, it was lots of fighting, lots of talking about what they're planning on doing, and then they didn't go. And I guess the Spanish just got away, did their own thing, sailed to wherever they had to go, reached their destination. Well,
this is the other question, because the big thing with the Spanish is Blackbeard wanted to sink them because they had the chronometer and they were going to be off a shipping line and the chronometer was going to go too and then no one would have it. If the Spanish got away and if it's normal for them, the chronometer can go all over the world now. They can make other chronometers.
Yeah.
And technology obviously would have caught up anyways. But this chronometer was such a game changer. The shipping lines are done. These people can go wherever they want, can sail wherever they want.
Yeah.
Piracy is over. Really. So Blackbeard kind of sealed his own fate by not sinking the Spanish, sealed piracy's fate, and whether he realizes it or not, that's it. And even if he's still alive, if that was the actual Blackbeard or a specter.
What do you think? Do you think that was really Blackbeard?
Yes. I think it was really Blackbeard. I think the head that they used was either a fake head or someone else's that was shaved. Remember, not a lot of people got a good look at Blackbeard recently, and the one who did, Jagger, is dead.
Yeah.
So they could have given any head to the guy. What's the difference? But if it got back that Blackbeard had a shaved head and a little goatee, maybe they found a guy who had a shaved head and they just did it.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know, like, how, if he didn't even say Blackbeard's name when he gave him the head. So how does that guy even know who it is? He's just like, here's...
I think it was obvious because that guy came in for Jagger. Whose head would you want? They looked for his head for whatever. Jamaica with the... I think that part would have been obvious enough. And I think it was Blackbeard because in the real history of Blackbeard, as the actual story goes, which, by the way, well, I'll save that for a second. In the real history of Blackbeard, when he is killed in battle by Colonel Maynard, by Lieutenant Maynard, the British in 1718 or whatever, they cut his head off. They throw his body into the Outer Banks of North Carolina into one of those inlets, and they take his head back to Norfolk, back to Virginia where they are, and they put it on a stake for everybody to see. So the imagery of Blackbeard's head being shown as like a trophy was so important in the actual story that I think this might be like an homage. That like, here's the head. This is what you do when you have a pirate or whatever. This is what you do. Here's the head. It's obviously Blackbeard.
Yeah. That's cool. So... overall, what's biggest disappointments?
Oh, Lord. Well, let's see. We got about 3 more hours. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm going to make the biggest disappointment very simple because a lot of people make this mistake, and I am no TV writer, I am no movie writer, but people, for the love of God, real life is more interesting than the bullcrap you make up. I'm sorry, it's true. The actual Blackbeard story, the history Blackbeard story, you could have gone step by step by step on his history and left nothing kind of, deceiving for the audience if they knew the history. That would have been 1,000 times more interesting than this crap you make up. Actual Blackbeard, fascinating. Yeah. NBC Blackbeard, not at all compelling in the slightest. Be historical. It's so much better. It's so much better.
And I just wanted more pirate things. Just like more R.
One eye patch. Just one eye patch.
I wanted a stereotypical pirate. At least one. Just one. And you also mentioned like no fighting on ships.
Nothing. No fighting.
At least like this episode kind of with the shooting.
We finally get a little shoot. Like we need some ships. Pirates fought, man. Pirates took over ships on the high seas, literally. Like we need to see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Are there anything that you liked about the show?
Oh, set design, definitely. Yeah. Set design, costumes, locations, all that sort of stuff. I thought that was really cool. It was a little overdone. A pirate in 1729 would not have lived the way Blackbeard lived. Yeah. With like those rugs and the furniture, and it obviously wasn't real. But I thought it looked beautiful, it looked amazing, and I kind of liked the imagery of the whole thing.
Yeah, and I liked how it was filmed. It was like a movie, even those big ships and everything. It was crazy beautiful, I guess, yeah. Is there anything else that you want to...
I'm glad it's gone. I'm sorry to say so. I'm glad it's gone. And no offense to the actors. We talked about this before. I didn't necessarily think there was any bad acting. I just think nobody really popped for me,
I feel like they didn't try, I feel like they didn't act hard enough or something, I feel like everybody phoned it in,
Yeah.
And there was no chemistry. I like how you said you feel like they just met that day and started. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer, but
I would be very interested to read an account from somebody in production on location filming for those months. And at what point, the director or the writers or the producers, at what point do you know this thing's going to suck? Do you know it immediately? Do you get 3/4 of the way through? Do you have just a sudden realization that, oh crap, we made a big mistake? I would want to know the point at which, or are they literally going to the barn tonight, proverbially, and the directors and the writers are like, oh, screw these people, we had a great show. Do they still think they had a good show? I'd just be interested to know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was filmed in Puerto Rico. Maybe everybody was just enjoying a little vacation.
I would.
Instead of doing the work.
I would. And you can't fault Malkovich. Dude's been in so many amazing things. He was compelling to watch. He wasn't amazing, but come on, man. He's an unbelievable actor, so it's not his fault.
But he said it was one of the best scripts he's read in a while.
That shocks me.
So I want to see the scripts that he's been reading.
That shocks me.
And see how bad
Weren't you the one who said he was doing that voices in some Penguins of Madagascar movie? Those are the scripts he's been reading. Yeah. This is why this was a good script.
But I mean, animated is jackpot, and it's probably going to be funny because I don't know, it's one of those types of animated movies. I don't know what else to say. I think that's it.
Where the hell do we leave it? I will say this, Kelly. One day in maybe 3 or 5 or 10 years, you're going to be a very successful comedian on a sitcom. I'm going to be a game show host or a filmmaker of some sort, and we're both going to be on Conan or Late Night or something on the same day, and we'll go our separate ways and do our work, and then we'll come together on Conan, and we'll be in the green room, and you'll walk in, and I'll be sitting there, and we'll just take a second and nod, and we'll be like, Crossbones sucks. And we'll always have this, because nobody else ever wanted to join this panel. Yeah. Nobody else wanted to be involved, but we'll always have a truly awful show.
Well put. Well put. Yeah, I look forward to that.
Getting choked up.
We'll be like, hashtag that's so Crossbones.
That's so Crossbones.
Well, it's been real. And
getting it tattooed.
Yeah, there you go. Where can we find you on the interwebs? On the interwebs, I'm at Bobby DeMuro on Twitter. And hey, for serious though, I just released a documentary. It's called Skid Row Tuesdays. It is about Skid Row, homeless district here in Los Angeles. I follow a very interesting guy around. You saw it and you liked it. I'm not even kidding. You actually liked it. Thank you. It's true.
So if you are on Twitter or if you're on YouTube, literally type in Skid Row Tuesdays. You can watch it. It's pretty good. Yeah, and my name's Kelly. You could find me on Twitter and Instagram. Kelly.
Hey. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo. HollyWeirdo. That's it.
And you can find her at comedy clubs all over LA. Like, for real, you perform all the time. So if you're in the Los Angeles area and you actually want to see something entertaining, follow her on Twitter.
KellyMcInerney.net for shows, dates, and all that stuff. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. See you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.